Game changer. I can't believe I'm saying it, guys. This is an absolute game changer. And not the first one of this amazing woman's career either. And neither of the times has she probably meant it, but this is what's happened. That's what's transpired. Yes, this week Lucy Bronze has revealed about her experience of being autistic and having ADHD. And I want to first talk about this and just how much of a big deal this is. But firstly, mention about the fact that this is the second time she's been a game changer, and I'm showing the picture of when she first became a game changer back in 2015, as you can just about see in the background, the Canadian World Cup, the Women's World Cup. This was a time when women's football was sort of on the rise, but nothing mega. This World Cup got a little bit more of a following, but not major. And this was the goal that got my interest in the Women's World Cup, because you can just about see on the left-hand side of the picture Lucy Bronze taking a shot. This shot ended up being a goal. And if you get a chance to watch it, it's incredible. Lucy Bronze versus Norway in 2015. That's what you need to look at. She does a long-range goal, gotta say, as well. And interestingly enough, scored a long-range goal against Norway 4 years later, which the next time they played. And this was a really decent Norway team, World Cup qualified team. And actually, if you were to look at them as a team now, they are top, absolutely top. There's some really, really top players in the squads. But Lucy Bronze scores, I think it was like the fourth best goal of the tournament, and this was the one that woke me up and went, wow, I need to watch women's football. And I've got to say, whenever it was women's football, Lucy Bronze was the person that I focus on, which is why I was particularly gutted when they lost out in the World Cup final, because it was Lucy Bronze's mistake that led to it. But I had an enjoyment of Lucy Bronze. So now let's talk about the big game changer, another game changer. Why is it such a game changer for Lucy Bronze to talk about her being neurodivergent, talk about her being autistic, having ADHD, and the like? Well, I'll touch on that near the end of the video, but I want to first delve into the interview itself, because I don't want to make any assumptions on her behalf. And by the way, Lucy Bronze, if you ever end up trawling through the internet and end up finding this video, I'd love to get your perspective, because I suspect that your life experience is much longer than the 5-10 minutes that you were allowed with Alex Scott, and I would love to have an opportunity to talk to you even more about it in the near future. But for now, what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to look at that interview and parts of the interview which allows us to look into life experiences, the challenges that she dealt with, but also some of the positives, which is what we love. We love this balanced argument, delving into both the good and the bad. So let's do that. So here is the interview in question. So, and like I said, we're going halfway through it, because a lot of it was just talking about the first part of it was talking about the diagnosis, but now we want to talk about the life experiences. So it mentions here, Bronze described how she copied the behaviours of others all through her 20s to mask her autism. There mentions about what masking is, about that fitting into a neurotypical society. It can have devastating impacts on mental health, sense of self, and access to an autism diagnosis. Mentions, when I first joined up with England, I could not speak to anyone. I remember Casey Stoney said to me, "You've never looked me in the eye when speaking to me," and I was like, "It's not because of you, it's me." I would watch Jill Scott and how she speaks to people. I thought I'd copy her a bit. I'm a bit better at it now, but I feel a bit uncomfortable sometimes. Hugging people, making eye contact when you speak, those two things I had to learn because they're seen as the norm, and I found them so difficult. Luckily for Bronze, she always has friends and family around her who understood what makes her feel uncomfortable. I've got to a point now where people know I don't like hugs, so they don't judge me for not doing it. Before, it was so frustrating because I felt I had to do that to make other people feel comfortable, but it made me feel more uncomfortable. It's important for everyone to understand the differences in people. Now, guys, feel free to put comments in about your experiences being neurodivergent. If there's any experiences that you're hearing here that resonate with you, because that's exactly what I'm going to be doing right now. I personally am exactly the same. So when it comes to my work, I've basically, it sounds weird, I've copied bits from other people. You know, when I was fortunate enough to start becoming a manager, I copied managerial traits from other people and gone, they do that, I should copy that. They do that, I should copy that. And molded me to the person I am. And it took me a while to go, well, what am I like as a person? What am I like as a manager? And so I feel that exactly the same way. Now, funnily enough, unlike Lucy Bronze, I do actually enjoy hugging, but but it is important. Actually, a lot of neurodivergent individuals, myself included, will put ourselves out for other people. It's almost that sort of assumed minority. We know we're in the minority, so we're our feelings matter less, and that's probably the feelings that Lucy Bronze was experiencing, because that's the feelings that I was experiencing. But that thing of going, right, you need to understand exactly what I enjoy and what I don't enjoy, that matters. And by the way, I want to mention this sort of unrecognised heroes in this, in the England women's football camp, right? So Lucy Bronze made her debut in 2013, so 2 years before that. But I want to go back to that scene, that goal, right? And let me ask you this, guys. Put yourself in Lucy Bronze's position. Yes, you've got a lot of talent, right? You know you got a lot of talent. Would you be attempting that goal if you didn't feel settled amongst the people that are on that pitch with you, that are on your team? Would you attempt it if you had a strained relationship with your coach? Probably not. Because as much as you would have confidence in your talents, at the same time, you're going, if this messes up, how are the others going to treat me? See, this is someone not just confident in herself, but confident with her team. So for those first 2 years, whilst there would have been a bit of uncomfortableness, at the same time, you can see that Lucy was made to feel welcome. That it's fine if you make a mistake. It's fine if you do this. It's fine if you do that. And look, we might end up in a situation a few years from now where half of the England women's team was neurodivergent, in which case this is almost like a mute point. But you know that phrase, it takes a village to raise a child? It's sort of that experience for someone who's neurodivergent. Yes, a lot of it comes from the neurodivergent person themselves. Absolutely. But if you want them to truly express their talents and their skills, make them feel comfortable in your group. Make them feel comfortable to be themselves. And I feel like that's a really big thing here, because without that, we wouldn't have seen this. We wouldn't have seen the game changing moments that there was on that. So that's sort of like the negatives, the challenges. But I now want to sort of like talk about the positives. So by the way, this is a good photo to actually be showing, because Lucy Bronze has got a huge amount of experience, not just on the international stage, but she's won European championships. Top clubs have wanted her. You know, Barcelona, one of the top teams in Europe. Then you've got Chelsea. Liverpool, they struggle in women's football, but even so, Liverpool wants her. Man City, Lyon, big clubs recognise her. And why? Because of this. So Bronze has found that some of her differences have been her strengths. So how I process things being super focused. People always say, "Oh, you're so passionate about football." I don't know if I'd say I'm passionate. I'm obsessed. That's my autism. It's my hyper focus on football. As someone who started playing senior football at 16, it's remarkable that Bronze is still performing at the highest level at 33. She says she partly has autism to thank for her longevity. Something that is really good for ADHD and autism is exercise. Having that focus, something to do, keeping moving. Training every day is amazing for me. Some of the other girls will be like, "Are you sure you're 33 because you don't stop? Because you don't stop." All the things I have because of autism have worked to my advantage. And this is something that I've been quite passionate about for quite a while, is that people that are neurodivergent, ADHD, autistic, their hyper focus can be a strength, a huge strength. You want someone to do some deep digging into a certain situation, find a passionate autistic, find a passionate person with ADHD. Absolutely. Absolutely. And absolutely huge about it. Now, the last bit about getting rid of the stigma thing is the fact that she's an ambassador for the National Autistic Society, which is brilliant, absolutely brilliant as well. Yeah, that's the situation on that. But again, I want to go back to this picture because why am I saying that this is a game changer? Lucy Bronze isn't the first celebrity to come out as neurodivergent and mention her experiences being neurodivergent. We've had others. We've even mentioned it on this channel. People like Emma Watson, people like Eminem, people like Fern Brady. Why is this a game changer? Well, for one huge reason. In fact, two huge reasons, not one. First thing is, this is the first time where it feels like a megastar has entered the crew, let's say, right? Yes, I've mentioned other people, but these were like, when it comes to like the music scene or when it comes to the entertainment scene, they're one of many people. But Lucy Bronze's a megastar, and this is the other reason why it's a game changer, is because it's in the world of sports. Have a think about the presumptions and assumptions that have been made about those that are autistic and those that have ADHD. It's been, let's say, the nerdy stuff, right? Video gamers, they love an Excel spreadsheet. They're artistic. Maths, science, really all that sort of thing. To have somebody who's a megastar in sports, at one point one of the top players in the world, I think once got into the top 10 of women's footballers in the world. Holy, that's something different. That's just something different. And I think this is big. This is huge. I really do mean this. That this removes so many presumptions about those that are autistic, those that have ADHD. And so, Lucy, I just want to say thank you. I wasn't sure whether this would be another neurodiversity positivity week that would pass us by, that perhaps wouldn't have the impacts of previous years. But my goodness me, the hope I had that everything could feel better. So, Lucy, thank you for the courage that you had in opening up about your experience. Thank you for the career that you've given us so far as well. But mostly, just thank you for being you. You are an incredible role model, full stop. I'm not even talking about being a neurodivergent role model here. I'm just talking about being a role model, full stop. And this feels like a you can shoot for the stars moment now. Because now, I mentioned about, that your family member could be the next Emma Watson. Doesn't feel so bad right now. Well, let me change it now. Your relative could be the next Lucy Bronze. That is incredible. Guys, I would love to know your experiences, whether there was anything in the interview that resonated with you, your thoughts on Lucy Bronze and her career. And if there's any other individuals that you'd like me to potentially talk about in a bit more detail about their lives being neurodivergent, their positives and negatives. Until then, guys, take care and see you around.